Hi, and welcome to the second video, where we talk about big fail number 2. You know very little about your marketing audience. Again, my name is Jody Lane, and I'm the co-founder and marketing strategist here at Smart Growth Marketing. And today our topic is centered around your ideal client. Now, when I ask most of our customers when we first meet them who their ideal clients are, the answer is very simple. Anybody who can afford the services we offer and who need the services we offer. And while in the end that may be true, that being the only description of your ideal client is probably hurting your marketing because relevant messaging, speaking directly to somebody's needs, objections, pain points, and more, are really what makes a marketing campaign truly successful. As with always, let's start off with a few statistics. Why is it so important to know who you're talking to before you start talking? 74% of consumers feel frustrated when content doesn't relate to their own personal interests. 56% of consumers say they would reward personalization with a purchase. 71% of marketers strongly consider how their content impacts the overall experience a person has with their organization. Think about that for a second. Marketers are making an effort to begin the customer service experience way before the prospect buys and becomes a customer. It starts in the marketing. The leading benefits of personalizing content and digital interactions are as follows. You get higher response and engagement rates, more timely and relevant interactions, greater customer affinity and word of mouth, and basically you just get a better high quality prospect and a lead that is most likely to become a customer. So what do you got to do? Well, you got to build yourself a buyer persona. Before you even write the first Facebook ad, write the first conversion email, or create the first landing page, you need to sit down and really think about who your ideal client is and what makes them unique. And we're going to show you how. Starts with creating a visual image of who that person is. You can even go so much as to give them a name. This HubSpot coined this process many years ago by building a buyer persona and giving your prospect or your ideal client a name. So we're going to talk to Feeling Fatigued Faye because most of our prospects are feeling a little tired, not having the energy they used to, and we want to talk to those people. Once we have a visual and we can really kind of think about who we're talking to, it's time to start putting down some ideas about what it is that they're interested in. So start off by writing an overview description of your audience segment. This is where you're going to be the most high level, thinking about, okay, generally speaking, the people that I'm marketing to who are my ideal clients have these things going on in their lives, these issues, these concerns, and these things that need to be solved. Then we want to give your ideal client persona some life. So create their demographic, where their geographic, where do they live, their occupation, what is a likely occupation this person might have, what is their educational background. Then think through how should you communicate with that ideal client. So we know a little bit about them and where they come from and where they live and some of the demographic attributes in regards to them. But now what do we want to say to them? Think about what social channels do they use? Where are they spending their time on social media? Think about what language and what tone will she respond to. If your office is a little bit more laid back, then you probably want clients that are a little more laid back. So you want to try to speak to your prospects in a more laid back tone and find people who respond to that kind of message. Then what does she need to know? What are her problems and pain points? What are her needs? What are her common objections? And how can you prove credibility to her? These are probably the most important things in all of the buyer's persona. If you do none of the stuff above, make sure to sit down with either your staff, if you have a marketing person on staff, if you're doing it yourself, or make sure you do this with your marketing agency. Identify what are their problems and pain points. We want to be able to speak to those problems. We want to be able to identify with those pain points so that they know that you're listening. What are her needs? What is she dealing with? What is going on in her life that you can then write about and so that she can see that you are a potential solution for the things that she's dealing with? What are her common objections? If you've been in business for longer than 3 months, if you've spoken to anybody about what you offer, you know that people have certain objections. It's either cost, or it's fear, or it's the unknown, or it's not sure if it's right for them. What are their objections? Think through what those are, because the best leads show up with those objections already handled, and you can handle them through your marketing. And then this one is really important and not to be overlooked. How can you prove credibility to her? Especially in the medical industry, people want to make sure that you're educated, you're knowledgeable, you've done this before, you can take care of them. So you want to figure out what it is that's going to prove your credibility. Is it your credentials? It's the amount of time that you've been doing this, or is it testimonials from other people talking about what great success that they've had? So really think through what those things are so that you can put those into your marketing. Now, this slide is a really great tool for you to use when you're trying to create what your content messages should be to tie back to your ideal client, thinking in terms of the buyer's journey that we learned in the last video. Because the right message to the right person at the right time equals gold, and it equals a sale. So we want to break down our messaging into the 3 different stages of the buyer's journey that we talked about before. Real quick, starting with the awareness stage. Remember, they realize and express symptoms of a potential problem. And what they're doing, they're researching. They're focusing on vendor-neutral third-party information. They're not looking for a doctor. They're looking for information about how to solve their problem. Some of the best content types for the awareness stage are reports, ebooks, blogs, white papers, any kind of educational content. You're proving your credibility by showing that you know what you're talking about, and you're helping her to research the things that she wants to research to see if this is the right path for her. Some of the key terms you're going to be thinking, she's going to be thinking about is, how do I troubleshoot this? What are my issues? How do I resolve this? What are the risks? Think in terms of, what it is that their mindset is in the awareness stage. And an example of a message is, I've been feeling tired a lot lately, bloated and irritable. I don't know what's wrong with me. She's looking for what's wrong with her. Moving into the consideration stage. Now she's clearly identified and given a name to her problem, and now she's committed to researching and understanding all the available methods and approaches to solving her problem. She's realized I may have some hormonal imbalance, so now I got to figure out what to do about it. And this is content types for this stage are perfect. Comparison papers, expert guides, video. Can't say it enough. Video is a great tool in the consideration stage. It builds credibility, it builds relationship, and it answers the questions. Webinars and podcasts, also great content types because you're educating, but you're also starting to begin the sale. For an example of the mindset in this stage, I may have a hormone imbalance. How can I help myself? Should I change my diet? Are there supplements? Or am I just stuck feeling this way for the rest of my life? Now, once we get to the decision stage, we realize that there is a solution and a strategy, a method or approach to solving my problem. She's now starting to research specific vendors or specific doctors that she can go to based on supporting documentation, data, endorsements, things that she needs to gather to make her final decision. So content types you probably want to use in this stage that are specifically in that mindset are vendor comparisons, case studies, things that, showing exactly how you've helped somebody else, trials that you may have, product literature, and especially testimonials. Probably one of the most useful content types in the decision stage are testimonials, because people, as a general rule, don't 100% believe the marketing messages that they read, but what they do believe are other people who talk about you. Look for key terms like they're comparing this versus this. What are the pros and cons? What are the benchmarks? Where are the studies? These are the things that they're looking for. And her mindset, an alternative medical doctor is probably my best bet. But who's the best in the business? Who's near me? Who has helped others like me? Maybe things like, what are the hours? Can I go before or after work? Do you take my insurance? Do you take insurance at all? These are all things that help in the decision stage. So that was a lot of information about our ideal client, and hope that it was all helpful. Now, coming up next, in the next video that you're going to get tomorrow, is all about lead generation, creating brand awareness. Before you can sell to people, you have to have them find you. And we're going to find out exactly in the next video how to do that. So thank you so much. If you've got any questions, of course, give us a call at any time, 407-917-7143, or you can simply email us at info@smartgrowthmarketing.com.